Hi, I'm Zarar from Raptors Republic, and today we're going to look at Nick Nurse's decision to take out Serge Ibaka and put in OG Anunoby at the 5 spot late in Game 6. We're going to look at a few plays with Ibaka in there and see how the Celtics exploited him, and then we're going to look at a few plays with OG in there and to see how that changed the dynamics of the Raptors defense. Ibaka had a great game, but the OG substitution, as you will see, was necessary. The Celtics run a high screen here, and Kemba Walker will drive fairly easily past his defender using the screen there. He's not even going to use it. He's going to go the other way. And Ibaka, you can see, is already anticipating the drive from Kemba. And you can see Lowry already anticipating Ibaka's man, which is Theis, to roll down the middle. So he's worried about him. And on the corner, you have Brown, who is just going to get a wide open three-point shot because Lowry is so help conscious, because Ibaka is so help conscious. So as you roll this play, you see how easily Brown gets that three. The Celtics run an off-ball screen here. So the screen is set for not the ball handler, but somebody moving without the ball, which in this case is Tatum. And usually Ibaka, who is Theis's man, would switch to Tatum. But because he's so worried about the drive from Walker, he's paying attention there. And as you run this play, when Walker passes it to Tatum, he's wide open because Ibaka's sagging back. And now it falls on Lowry to go and cover Tatum, leaving Brown wide open on the corner, almost kind of like in the previous play. In the previous play, we saw an off-ball screen. Now we're seeing an on-ball screen. So Theis on Van Vliet. Ibaka chooses to hang back, so he's sagging. This is probably a coach's decision. I obviously don't know that, but I'm guessing he's sagging back because he wants to avoid giving Kemba the corner to turn to the rim. But as you can see, it doesn't really matter because Kemba weaves his way across, and Lowry, much like in the last two plays, is very help conscious. He's there to help Ibaka. And as you roll this play along, Kemba gets the drive, Lowry contests, and once again, Brown is open in the corner. Then the Raptors made the change and put OG at the 5 and decided to essentially just switch whenever the screen happens. And here you have Tatum setting a screen for Powell, and you got 3 Raptors there. And the strategy there appears to be to just switch no matter what to avoid the penetration and thus the eventual kick out. And in this case, as you roll it, OG is switched on to Kemba Walker, which was impossible. Like, you couldn't have Ibaka on Walker. That would be disastrous. But with OG in there, you can afford to do this. Walker's drive is much more contested than usual as Siakam comes over. By the way, Siakam had a pretty good defensive game. He leaves Theis open. But the coolest part about this play is watch Kyle Lowry. He consciously chooses not to defend Theis because that's the shot that you want Theis to take. Instead, he focuses attention on Brown, thus taking the pass away from Theis to Brown. And Theis is forced into a shot that the Raptors are very comfortable with him taking. The Celtics start off this play with an on-ball screen to get a switch of Tatum on Van Vliet. They like this matchup because of the height advantage and the visibility that Tatum has over Van Vliet. The Raptors actually are pretty comfortable with this matchup too. And in this situation, Tatum has a couple of options. He can make a one-on-one move, or he can pick out a pass. He chooses to pick out a pass with the help of a back screen set by Theis on Lowry. The Raptors have a decision to make. Should OG switch to Brown and leave a mismatch of Lowry guarding Theis, or should they fight through? They chose to fight through and have Lowry contest Brown's shot. So OG's versatility here is great because here they have the option to actually switch OG on Brown or have him stay on Theis. You can't really switch Ibaka on Brown. Here they have options. They easily could have chosen the switch option. Instead, they chose to fight through. But the other option is just as viable. I'm going to stick with the switchability theme here because the Celtics love to put Kemba Walker against a slower big, and having OG in there instead of Ibaka neutralizes that to a large degree. Here, the Raptors concede the switch happily because they're comfortable with OG there, and the Celtics can't really pass the ball to Theis on Van Vliet because Theis doesn't really have a great post-up game, and they prefer Kemba Walker anyways, and Kemba Walker's shot here is pretty well contested. I got to give 2 additional shout-outs on this play as we roll it back. One to Fred for actually fronting Theis and making any potential pass difficult, and also to Siakam switching back to Theis and making that box out, which was important. So far we've seen OG make a lot of guard-like plays. On this one he makes a true center-like play, and that's his challenge on Kemba Walker's drive to the paint, which eventually leads to the fast break that seals the game. And this really is OG's versatility. He's able to defend the perimeter, he's able to play inside, and he's quick enough where he can cover a lot of ground. Great move by Nick Nurse to put in OG for Ibaka, despite Ibaka having a great offensive game overall. I've just picked a handful of plays to show you here, but there are countless such plays in the fourth quarter and the 2 overtime periods. The general theme is all the same. It's OG's switchability, versatility, and the ability to guard guards that separates him from Ibaka. And that's a trade-off that Nick Nurse is willing to make. He's basically trading off Ibaka's rebounding prowess and shot blocking prowess for OG's quickness. And as you can see here, it paid off.